Alright, hello people, today we are going to talk about useRef, which is a way to select some elements with React. Because indeed you could do something like that, for example const imp equal document.query selector, etc. But it's not very optimized for React because it will look through all the DOM, and if you select some elements in a React component, it will only look for what is inside that component. Okay, so for example, a really simple example right there, we do have two inputs. It's a basic form, okay, so just a basic form. And for example, we do want to select the two inputs right there. So how can we do that? We can just import useRef from what? From React. Okay, great. And now we can just create some references. So to do that, you just need to give it a name. So sorry, but the mic is just in front of my keyboard. All right. And then you need to give some name, for example, name ref equal, and you will execute in useRef. And now you can just select every element that you want to put inside that ref. For example, the first one, so ref equal name ref. Great. But if we log it right there, log name ref, it won't show something nice. So I will just go there. Okay. And right there we do see an object, but if we just refresh like that, we will see current undefined. It's an object, okay, but it does have that property current with undefined. And what we want is the selection inside that property, okay? We want the selection to be the value of the current property. So actually it works, but since the component is executed first, so we do execute what is here first and then we execute the JSX, we can't log the console log right there. So we need to use the useEffect hook that will be executed after the mount of my component. So right there I can just put useEffect, useEffect, and I will feed it with a callback function and an empty array. This is the dependency array, so it will just run what is inside that callback after the first time my component is created. Okay, so my component is created. So first I do have the execution of my useRef, then my component is mounted, is created, and after that I have my callback function that is executed. Okay, and so right there I can log it right now. If I just log name ref and I just refresh. So the first log is undefined and the second one is input name. Okay, so it's working great. And so this is how you can just visualize your reference. Great, that's working, that's nice. And for example, we could also create a mail ref for the mail right there. So ref equal mail ref. And so usually we are using ref with an onSubmit method. I mean onSubmit events that is linked to a, for example, handle submit method that we are just going to use right there. Const handle submit. You can take the object parameter and just e.prevent default to prevent the default behavior of the form. Great. And now, for example, if I want to use what is inside my inputs for an API call, for example, I can retrieve it with a simple console log, for example, name ref.current. Okay, and I can also look for mail ref.current. And so that current.value indeed, value and value. Okay, so let's just refresh it. And now I will just write Enzo, which is my name, and test, and I will just submit it. And you see that I can use the value right there. All right, so it's working, it's great. And I will show you one last tip, which is the multi-ref tip, I would say. So how to select multiple ref, because let's imagine we have, for example, 100 inputs. We are not going to create 100 ref like that. It's a little bit stupid or not very productive, I would say. So right there we can just start a ref with an empty array. So for example, const inputs with an S equal useRef empty array. Okay, and now we will create a method. For example, add inputs equal. It will take an element and it will check if that element is not undefined, if it exists, and if it's not already inside my array. So right there, and inputs.current.includes L. So if it exists and if it's not already inside my array, I will push it inside it. So inputs.current.push element. Great. So now that we do have a function right there, we can just pass that function to the ref right there. Okay. So instead of putting name ref and everything, we can just put a method, a function right there. Okay, and it will just push the different element inside of that array. And then I can just find my array with the same log inputs.current, and it will give me an array. So nameref is not defined. Nameref is not defined. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, so I will just refresh it. Great. So enzo test, and if I submit, I can see that I have an array with 2 inputs inside it. Okay, so that's great. And I can select multiple elements with that little trick. So it can be a little bit strange to have an object right there when we select the ref, but it's just how it's done actually. So it's the reference is put inside the current property right there. Okay, so it's an object, and inside the current property you do have the selection. All right, great. So that's how you use useRef with React when you want to select some element. All right, like the video, subscribe, and see you in another video, I guess. Bye.